I knew when I was trans was when I was 19. But prior to that, I just always knew I was different, but I didn't know what that difference sort of was or what it meant. Being around girls as well, I never really grew up having any boy sort of friends. I was always involved with being with the girls.
Was there a moment in your childhood when you stopped being true to yourself because of the other people around you? I know that sometimes I'm the only trans person that people come across, and I understand that we don't have the responsibility to educate everyone, but if you feel okay doing so, as you said, then we should do it, because then if we can educate someone on the way and just a little bit, say it, and because we can really inspire others with our lives and our example. What would you say to trans people who are in the closet right now? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Trans Crush, the spicy, fun, and educational podcast about the lives of trans women. I'm your host, Pevi, and I'm so happy you are here with us today, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any episodes in the future. And trust me, we have some exciting guests coming up, so make sure you do that. In 2025, we deserve a space where we can show up just as we are and meet others just as they are. For me, that space is Field, the dating app and sponsor of this episode. Field is ad-free, independent, and built for open-minded people, the ones you've been looking for. With over 20 genders and sexual identities to choose from, it's a place to explore who you are and what you like without judgment or expectation. In fact, 62% of Field members evolve their sexuality and desires in their first year on the app. So, what are you waiting for? Download Field on the App Store or Google Play and start exploring now. Now, our today's guest is Samantha Gooding, who is a trans woman, and I'm so happy she is in the studio with us today.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank you for
Samantha.
having me.
Thank you so much for coming here, and you're going to share your story with us. So I'm really, really grateful and appreciative that you came to the studio today, and I'm so excited to hear about your story, your journey. Yeah, let's crush it. Let's do it.
Brace yourselves.
So I have a little tradition on the podcast, which is the question, what makes you happy? So what makes you happy, Samantha?
Oh gosh, silliness, just absolute nonsense and laughing about anything I possibly can. Normally, it's me and my housemate who are laughing at old pop culture references. So it could be anything that we've seen on YouTube, on the television, usually or gay Twitter as well. Kind of, they like to run with it. But yeah, usually anything that's just a little bit absurd. That's the humour that I really enjoy.
Love that. When did you know you were a trans woman?
I always say specifically I knew when I was trans was when I was 19. But prior to that, I just always knew I was different, but I didn't know what that difference sort of was or what it meant. But I do remember being very young, probably about 3 years old, knowing that I didn't want to be a boy. If someone said to me, "Are you a boy?" I'd go, "No, I think I'm a girl."
Did you get lots of questions like, is it a boy, is it a girl when you were
Yeah.
young? Yeah.
Yeah, very, very angelic when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I'd always,
Still angelic now.
oh bless you, thank you, so are you. I'd always be in the makeup box. The makeup box? Well, yeah, my mum's makeup box. But I'd always be in the dressing up box as well, especially when we were in preschool. You know, we weren't told you can't go and play with the things over there. You have to
Yep.
play with this. They kind of just let us do our own free reign. And that's what I was sort of drawn to, was a dressing up box. But they didn't say to me, "No, you shouldn't be doing that." And yeah, that was that. But yeah, 19 years old was when I heard what the term trans meant.
Yeah.
And
Same.
I literally had that light bulb moment where I went, "Oh my God, That's
who I
it.
am.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Were you on like the feminine kind of side of the spectrum, like as a kid, as
Oh,
a teenager?
absolutely, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
if I said no, I think anyone that knows me would go, "Oh, Sam, come on."
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I went to a dancing school, and so I did dancing when I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
And it was predominantly a girls' dancing school, but they also had a boys' class.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I was in the boys' class at the time, and we did show year every 2 years. It was a show, and I remember thinking, oh, I don't really care what the other boys are doing. I'm more interested in what the girls are doing on the stage. I always preferred watching what they were doing, and you know, being around girls as well. I never really grew up having any boy sort of friends. I was always involved with being with the girls. So yeah, that definitely would be part of the more feminine side. And I guess that's kind of how I became to who I am as well. Like, I don't regret any of that or think badly about it. It was just me.
Yeah.
Just me.
Love that. Um, was there a moment in your childhood when you stopped being true to yourself because of the other people around you?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I have a very big family. My mum and my auntie, who are sisters, they are one of 26 cousins.
Wow.
Because my grandparents, my mum's mum was one of five, and my mum's dad was one of six. So obviously they all then had children, and their children had children. We're like gremlins, our family. We multiply overnight.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to hide it a little bit away from family. In particular, my grandparents aren't with us anymore, but they didn't know anything about this. I never even came out to them at all, which was a decision I chose to do. Not that they wouldn't have accepted it, but it would have been very hard trying to tell, a 95-year-old, oh, by the way, I'm not your grandson anymore, I'm your granddaughter,
Yeah.
when they were terrified of the world. The news channel was always on at my nan and granddad's house. They didn't like us really going out. They were very scared of the world. So that would have probably been quite tricky. Apart from that, no, I kind of always just was me, and I felt very comfortable just being me. So yeah.
Yeah. I know that you were a makeup artist, right?
Yes.
We had a chat before. Did you start doing makeup after you transitioned, or was it always before as well?
No, it was literally the first year that I started fully transitioning and being like this day and night, I guess. That was the first time I got a job as a makeup artist.
Wow.
So that was like, oh my gosh, this company actually sees something in me, and I can be
Yeah.
myself.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, so crazy. We had literally the same life. Like
We
literally like
did.
how old were you when you transitioned?
21. 20, yeah, 21, 22.
Same. And I
For in
started,
sync.
yeah, and I started transition when I was working as a makeup artist in London. And it was the same. Like, I was so lucky to, there's so many trans women who really struggle to come out because of work.
Yeah.
And they're scared they won't be accepted. But I think with us, we are so lucky because I was in the position where everyone around me in the work, they were like, I would say maybe 70% of the staff were LGBT.
Yeah.
And it was just really easy and smooth, And of course, the transition wasn't from a masculine boy to a feminine girl. It was like I was always femme. I was always, always acrylics on.
Nice.
But then I was just like, just let's change the pronoun, and then it
Yeah.
was just kind of a smooth transition.
Yeah.
But it's really helpful, isn't it, that if you're around this environment that is so supportive and encouraging and loving, and they
Definitely.
get you, it makes life so much easier for you.
Yeah.
Because you don't, because on top of that, like on top of going through gender dysphoria, hormones, things like hate from the world, everything, on top of that, you have to be nervous or think about your work, if you're gonna get accepted or not.
Exactly.
So it's another weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. And did you find as well that working within makeup, it would have been a bit odd if the brand hadn't had accepted us, because it's
Oh,
like
100%.
we're makeup artists.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna be
It's about expression. And it
exactly.
doesn't matter if it's the expression about the colors you choose or the gender you choose.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, for the store that I worked in, we didn't have anyone like me. So everyone was as lovely as everyone was. Everyone did feel a little bit like they were treading on eggshells. And I just thought, it's okay. You know, we are allowed to ask questions. And I think that's the important thing.
Yes.
Making other people feel comfortable, obviously within reason,
Yeah.
but having that, you know, conversation to say, if there's anything you do want to ask, I mean, for me in particular, I'm like, you ask away.
I say the same. I don't mind people asking the questions that are, within the reason, I would
Of
say.
course.
But I'm happy to answer personal questions to my friends. I mean, on here I'm open book as well. Like
Hey.
but everyone knows about me, everything right now, especially on Patreon. Everyone knows about everything right now at this point. But like, if you're a stranger and you ask me personal question, that's not okay. But also, like, I know that sometimes I'm the only trans person that people come across, and I understand that we don't have the responsibility to educate everyone, but if you feel okay doing so, as you said, then we should do it, because then if we can educate someone on the way and just a little bit,
Yeah.
if you feel okay answering that, if you don't feel exhausted, if you don't feel anxious or depressed that day, just, say it. And because we can really inspire others with our lives and our example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there isn't a blueprint to being trans, is there? There's no step one, do this, step two, there isn't.
What would you say to trans people who are in the closet right now?
My mum and dad didn't know they didn't know how to help me. So it was a little bit of a struggle for them, because they're like, we don't know what to do.
When we don't feel good and we feel depressed and we are even too exhausted to ask for help and say, hey, this is going on, just let's send each other black heart emoji.
Exactly.
How long have you been trans officially now?
Oh gosh, I think it's been 10 years now.
10 years now. And how has the journey been for you?
I'd be lying if I said it was wonderful, because nothing's ever
an answer either.
No. If it was no problems from A to B, I'd be like, no, there's something along the way. Predominantly, it has been fine. There are challenges along the way, but I think that there isn't a blueprint to being trans, is there? There's no step one, do this, step two, there isn't. But it's definitely been a little bit bumpy, especially at the beginning. And, there's no one in my family really, apart from now, I've now got a cousin who's going through the similar sort of thing. But when I came out, there was no one in our family like it. And bless them, my mum and dad didn't know they didn't know how to help me. So it was a little bit of a struggle for them, because they're like, we don't know what to do to help you. Obviously, we love you.
Were they supportive and accepting?
They want, and they
just
are.
didn't know how to help you.
Exactly.
That's beautiful, though.
Exactly. But we've all gone through this journey. It's not just us as on our own.
Yes.
Friends are involved, families involved, and it's a process.
Yeah, people transitioning around us as we transition, as we develop, as we go through this journey.
Yeah.
They have to adjust somehow as well, right?
Exactly. And
from the pronouns to, I don't know, the name, if you choose the new. Yeah.
Well, that was the first thing that I sort of did for them. I thought, how can I make this as easy for them as possible? So I changed my name in their phone books. Because you look at your phone every day, don't you? You text people every day, you call people every day. And I thought, if I can change it there, they're looking at that every single day. I thought, okay. And that's how it started going.
That's a good one.
So
that's a good one. I love that. I actually have done it for my grandma, but not in the beginning, but like 5 years later, because she was like the last person in my family who didn't accept it or get it. So yeah, I told my mom to change it from the male to female, and it's such a good one. Because it's so helpful, especially if your family doesn't have you on their social media
Yeah.
and they don't see the new name and they don't see the new version of yourself. It's good to have it in the phone books,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that I did. And when it came to changing my name as well, I wanted to still keep the first initial of my old
Yeah.
name, which is S. Um, and I thought, make it a name that can be like shortened. So Samantha, Sam for short. Most people in my life just call me Sam now. I've only ever had one Samantha from my mum, and that was when I was in deep trouble. So yeah, but I thought, no, just make this as easy as I possibly can for everyone. And yeah, couple of years later, and we're still going, and things have developed, and yeah. But life, it doesn't come with struggle, and I'm always going to say to people, if you're going to transition, no matter whether it was 15 years ago or 20 years in the future, the world isn't really a nice place. So if you're going to do this, you've got to have a bit of a backbone, and that might sound quite harsh, but if you're determined, and if that is who you truly are from day to night, and that is what you believe, then blimmin' go for it. But be prepared for a bit of flack.
Yeah. What would you say to trans people who are in the closet right now?
There's no right or wrong time to come out. You can only come out when you feel like you can, or if you feel like it is your time. Yes, we've just come out of Pride Month, and that's an amazing thing to see. But I would say to someone, don't just come out because you know it's Pride Month, because that might not be your time. You might need a couple of more years.
Yeah.
You might think, oh, actually, no, it's not for me now. If it is for you now, amazing, welcome. But yeah, everyone's time is different,
Yeah.
But for me, it got to the point where I I I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel
Yeah.
in that old life, and I just had to do it.
So when you look back at those last 10 years, did you say?
Yeah.
What has been the most challenging moment in your transition?
Initially, I would say coming out, purely for the fact that there was no one in my family, I mentioned at the time, that was like me. So I would say that, but it's a process about educating yourself as
Yeah.
well, and don't expect everyone around you to suddenly go, oh yeah, that's fine, that's okay, she's gonna do this now. No, it does take time,
Yeah.
but that time is essential, and it's worth it. Apart from that, I'd probably say just the adjustment, mainly for myself, and understanding that something as hard as gender dysphoria is real.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away, it can be suppressed, but every now and then it might rear its horrible little head.
Oh, yeah.
But I've kind of become accustomed to I know when it's coming in, if that makes sense.
Right.
I can feel it sort of brewing.
Oh, that's a good one.
And when I know it's about to peak, I'm like, right, okay. You've done this many a time before,
Yeah,
girl. You
yeah.
can do it again.
I would love to talk about this if you want.
Of course.
What are your triggers in when you start having this, like, oh, it's coming in? Is like a trigger, or it's just coming out of nowhere?
I normally have little minute triggers that when I think about it now, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see why that has started to, I was going to say blossom, but that's not the right word for it because it's not a nice thing.
Yeah, like
But it's,
develop, or
yes, yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think for me in particular, it will be days where, I don't look like this every single day.
Yeah.
I do go to work with no makeup on sometimes, hair up in a bun,
No
I don't
glam.
care. Yeah. And there will be days where I'll catch myself in the mirror and I'll go, oh, I don't like that. And then I'll forget about it for a bit, and then it will come back to it, and then it will come back, and Yeah.
By I don't like it, you mean you see the other gender?
I
Or,
still see
yeah,
I still see like a teenage
yeah.
version of myself.
No, I'm the same. Like, and I tell you something, the reason why I want to talk about this and what you do and how you deal with it is because every single trans woman I've met told me she still experiences gender dysphoria. And doesn't matter how feminine you might look to others or how feminine it doesn't matter because it's like, as you said, especially without the makeup, sometimes you just pass the mirror and you just start over analyzing your face and like
100%.
parts of your body and
Do you
everything.
do you think that's because when we think of, I mean, for me in particular, when you think of like a low point, you go back to how you were when you used to feel low,
Yes.
and then you see what you looked like when you feel that. And that's why it's like, oh, for God's sake, that's why I still see a
Yeah.
16, 17-year-old me in the mirror.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
it's
okay, you know what? I actually never talk about this, but because I didn't have the opportunity to talk about it. But when I was representing as a boy and when I was using he him pronoun and I was okay with it, I had no regrets, I had no pain, there was no gender dysphoria. The moment I started having gender dysphoria was the first year in London when I was working as a makeup artist, what we're
wow,
talking about. And I remember perfume that I put on that time, if I smell it now, triggered.
really?
Eyelashes or a certain makeup, certain shape of eyebrows that I used to do on myself, on my face, in the beginning of my transition, when I was before hormones, when I experienced a lot of transphobia and a lot of gender dysphoria. Like I hating myself for looking this way
Yeah.
and not being where I am right now or where I wanted to be. That was so triggering. So whenever, even sometimes a lip shade that I put on, it takes me back 8 years ago,
Yeah.
and I see the face that I look with this lipstick or with this lashes or with this perfume or this hair color, triggers me, and I feel so shit about myself, you know?
I completely
So
understand
it's
what you
stuff like
mean.
that.
Yeah. But it's funny, isn't it? Because we said that we used to work for a brand
Yeah.
that when I look back at those pictures, or if I see certain products, I mean, luckily the majority of them have now been discontinued because they weren't great. But when I see those things, I completely get it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember being a little bit insecure then and having down days, and the style back then as well was like wild. It was mad. But no, I completely relate.
Yeah, and I also, it's not just without like with makeup or clothes or hair, but it's also without makeup, like when I'm just like naked. And sometimes there's like a certain angle, especially like if I have no brows or lashes down. By the way, that changes a lot. Eyebrows and
It
lashes
does. It really
honestly
does.
changes everything. Even if you're not on hormones, like lashes and brows can really frame your face and shape your face. We could talk
Definitely.
about it
We
another
really
episode
could.
about
Yeah.
makeup tricks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It does change a lot. But if I don't have that, and if I just have like a hair up in a bun and stuff like that, it doesn't matter how many people tell me you don't look male. Like I can see anything male about you. Um, it doesn't matter because it's just in your head, like it's your experience,
Yeah.
and people, as you said, like gender dysphoria is so real and so
Yeah.
hard. Like right now I'm smiling, but 4 hours ago I was just like didn't want to leave,
Oh, bless
get out from
you.
bed, like
Yeah.
it's real, it doesn't matter how far you are in your transition, it always comes back. But to close this to I would say it does get better, right?
It really
The
does.
moment you have
Yeah.
gender dysphoria, it's like every single day when you start your transition.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you might have gender dysphoria maybe like only, I don't know, a few times a month, a few times a week, maybe twice a day instead of 50 times a day,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep. Yep. I mean, if I'm being honest, at time of recording, I actually had a bit of a spout of it about 3 weeks ago. And yeah, you feel really, really crap in that moment.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've got a brilliant group of friends and family that recognize when it's kind of bubbling up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, normally that's an excuse to, let's just order a takeaway tonight and let's order loads of food and eat lots of crap.
Uh-huh.
But if that's what gets you through it, like it does for me,
Yeah.
then just roll with it.
That's so good. To
Yeah.
asking kind of for help and company, not like, hey, I need help.
Mm.
But because I mean, in my case, I would never do that. I just hate asking for help. But like, as you said, let's order a takeout
Yeah.
or let's do something, I don't know, let's go on to the gallery or something, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. You see, I'm inspired now. I'm inspired by this because I think I should do that as well. Because when I feel it's coming,
Yeah.
um,
Or what I do with my mum is if I can feel it coming on, I'll send her like a little emoji. It doesn't need to specifically be something gender related. Like it doesn't have to be the trans flag or the gay flag emoji. I think it's, what did I send her last time? I think it was like the brown bear. And that to her is like, right, okay, Sam's not in the best of situations at the minute, but we're going to try and make this not as full on like, are you okay? What do you need? How can I help? It's, right, okay, I know she's not in the good frame of mind, so let's get through it. And yeah, that has worked for me a little bit as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love the emoji thing. My friend, my really, really good friend Sophia Hilton, she knows what I was, what I've been going through, and we had this chat when we had like a girl night out, and she said when because she's been through similar things, mental health and stuff, she was like, let's promise each other when we don't feel good and we feel depressed and we are even too exhausted to ask for help and say, hey, this is going on, just let's send each other black emoji, black heart emoji.
Exactly.
And I think I haven't used it yet, but if I get to the point, I will. And it's such a nice way to do it, like to
Yeah.
use emojis, something simple, as you said, like let's do that. And they know that this is the case, and now they know something is happening in your life, whether it's gender dysphoria, whether it's depression, whether it's social anxiety,
Yeah.
panic attacks, anything like that. I feel like it's so necessary to have this supportive group, support group, and friends and family, and if you're privileged enough to have that, that's just so helpful and so good to have that. So I'm really happy that you have the friends around you and the family that support you.
And you as well.
Yeah, it's so good, so good. What do you think about the situation in NHS right now?
I mean, for me growing up, there were very, very few trans people on the telly.
I think if we create a space in our world that is not inclusive for anyone, I don't think it's beneficial for the society. If it's not benefiting anyone, and if it's harming others, if it makes other people's life harder, then I don't think it's a healthy society to live in. So I know that you were working as a makeup artist.
Yes.
Do you still do makeup now?
I can just about do my own. Thanks, lockdown. So I was a makeup artist for about 4 years, and you know what it's like working on counter. I'd call it painting faces. So you're constantly literally touching people's faces, putting makeup on, 7 days a week, or 5 days a week, however long it is. And then all of a sudden, when lockdown happened, you don't do any of that at all. And it was just over a year that we weren't in store. And even when we went back to store, it was like, well, you can't touch a person's face. You can't put a foundation on someone's face. You can't put lipstick on people's face. And it kind of killed it. And it was such a shame because it was like learning how to ride a bike again. But I still get my friends message me saying, oh, Sam, can you do this? Sam, can you do that? Normally they end up coming to my house with that stitch of makeup on and then they leave looking like me. So, and they don't even wear this much makeup normally,
Your makeup,
but
I had to just to say on camera as well. Your makeup is so beautiful, absolutely
oh,
beautiful.
thank you.
I just said it earlier. I was like, your brows, just laminate, everything is just perfection. It's so clean, it's beautiful.
Thanks, Natalie.
So good, so
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
And so yeah, what do you do now?
So now I work for the NHS now. So I work. I'm a receptionist. The department I work in is radiology. So that covers everything from X-rays, ultrasounds, MRI scans, and CT scans. I'm not medically trained, but I do the booking side of
Yeah.
it. Normally, I'm on the end of a telephone booking someone in, and normally when things go wrong on the booking end, I normally get the brunt of it. Patients and customers are very, very similar. Very
I
similar.
don't think I could do that. I don't think I'm patient to do this.
I think in my first week I cried.
Yeah.
And then I thought, do you know what? You've had your cry.
Yeah. Do you when you're like always on the phone and stuff, do you does it go quite like quickly? Like or is it like sometimes like boring, or if you deal with people all day, it's kind of nice and they
Yeah.
give you the energy back. It's kind of like in motion.
Yeah, sometimes it goes quite quick. I guess it's very similar for people that work in call centres. If you're quick, sort of a minute and a half phone call, put the phone down, picking up again and again. When you have a day where that is constant, yeah, the day can go quite quickly. But sometimes you get those days where that phone won't even ring once within 2.5
Right.
hours, and you're like, for God's sake, surely someone needs to book something. But yeah, I work in a really lovely team who fully accept me as I am, which I was quite anxious about because, working within a hospital, you would assume that, oh yeah, everyone's going to be fine with it. The hospital I work in is, you're great. But you hear, especially recently, you've heard stories up and down the country about trans people who are
Yeah.
working in hospitals that's causing all these, there's issues going on. And I just think to myself, oh, thank God I don't, touch wood, I don't have that going on at the minute. And when I don't work on a ward, I'm just a booking clerk.
Yeah. What do you think about the situation in NHS right now?
It's a tricky one. I was on the social media for my local trust page to say, this is Samantha. She works for us in radiology and she's transgender. Here's a little bit about her story. And the comments on that were, that's great that she works for you guys, but at the same time, the whole gender care situation within our country is rubbish. And I kind of just had to sit back and go, well, I can't really help that. I don't work in a gender affirming clinic.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just working for a department and I'm just being me.
Yeah.
So it comes with good and bad, but luckily there was nothing like bad on my part, and I just do what I've got to do.
Yeah.
But in terms of what the country is going through, oh God, that's a bit of a tricky one though, isn't it? What do you think? What do you think about it?
I think if we create a space in our world that is not inclusive for anyone, I don't think it's beneficial for the society. If it's not benefiting anyone, and if it's harming others, if it makes other people's life harder, then I don't think it's a healthy society to live in.
No.
It's with trans rights everywhere, not just NHS in the UK. It's with trans rights all over the world. Politicians and the laws trying to make our lives harder. No one's going to benefit from it if we as trans people thrive, if we are happy, if we have our rights, if we have access to healthcare. No one's going to lose any of their rights, any of
No.
their money, like nothing. It's my brain really can't comprehend it, and I can't really understand it, why people are so against us. That because obviously, if you're a politician, you want everyone to be happy in your own country. And by giving trans people their rights and providing an amazing quality of life. You're not stripping any other people's rights away from them,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So that's my take on that. Okay, Sam, so what are your hopes and dreams for the future?
Oh gosh. Um, it's a weird one really because I was thinking about this on the way up here. Pre surgery and pre everything, my aim and ambition was to be my fully formed self, which I am now. And now I'm like, right, okay, I've now got to that point. I don't think I know what to do else. I've now got to think of a new thing to do because I've already achieved it. Realistically, I'm from an acting background. I think more representation on screen, whether it's big screen, small screen, whatever, I think more representation is needed. In particular, I think in soap.
Yeah.
That's not me saying I want to be a soap actress, but I do think that that could be the gateway to more inclusion and diversity. Um, so yeah, I mean, and I've got a degree. I've got an acting degree, so why not put it to good use? I
I love
suppose.
that. So yeah, like so you're hoping for more representation on TV.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, let's not go wild with it, but I think if I was young now watching television, if I could see more trans people on the television now, I'd feel more comfortable and not portrayed in a bad way as such. I mean, for me growing up, there were very, very few trans people on the telly. I mean, Nadia from Big Brother, bless her. I think everyone recently who is my age who is transitioned has always said, oh, she was the first person I saw on telly. She technically was, but then there have been other people on social media, on reality TV, acting. I could go on about it. But without those people that I saw, I don't think I would be the person I am today.
Yeah.
So it wasn't forced upon me. I chose to watch that and engage in it. And yeah, maybe it helped me be me. But I don't think it should be like overly done, if that makes any sense at all. I'm probably rambling. I'm so sorry.
That's your answer.
Yeah.
That's your answer.
Yeah.
Last question before we go on Patreon
Oh,
and
nice.
talk about your date
Oh,
life.
God. Yeah.
What do you wish everyone knew about trans women?
We are not the enemy. I don't know why all of a sudden, overnight, we are now seen as the villains in society. We just want to be happy.
Yeah.
We also don't, there's not an expectation for a trans woman to be like, if you want to look like me and yourself, great, you go for it. If that's not your aesthetic, then, there's no, as I said earlier, there's no blueprint to being a trans woman. If you're happy, then that surely is what matters, really. And I think we all need to kind of support each other as well. Whether you're trans femme, masculine, any of the trans men out there, we all need to just become bonded, I think, because as I say, we're under a microscope at the minute with the world, and we don't. Well, I'm sure you'd probably say the same as well. We don't need any more aggro. I'm fed up of looking at the news every day where it's another trans person has done something, and I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, is there nothing else to talk about? But yeah, we're not the enemy. We just want to live our lives.
Love that. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being so open and lovely and
bless you. Thank you.
really you inspire me in many ways as well, and I'm sure you're going to inspire our listeners or our viewers on the podcast.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I can't wait to talk about your dating life on Patreon, where Sam is going to share her experience about dating, some of the horror stories she mentioned. It's going to be spicy, it's going to be real, and as always, it's going to be without the filter. Well, that was all for today. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, wherever you are. Make sure you go on our socials, whether it's TikTok or Instagram to support our channel, and let's get the community growing. I'm going to see you next week, and remember, roses are red, violets are blue. Every Thursday on Trans Crash, we going to educate you. Bye. When you look at your dating life as a trans woman pre-op and now dating as a trans woman post-op, what is like the biggest difference for you? Do you think guys treat you like more as a woman and less as a fetish now?
I wouldn't walk down the road with you. I wouldn't be seen walking down the road with you, but I would you. And I thought, that's a nasty thing to say.
It's horrible. It happens to me all the time as well. It happens to me so many trans girls all the time. The most horrible thing, the worst thing a guy has done to you.
Dated me over the Christmas period just gone and ghosted me. When I say it hurts, I don't think anyone, especially who isn't trans, I don't think they realise how much that is like a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
My self-esteem hit so low. I was making myself ill. No guy has ever actually been nice to me romantically. They are at the beginning, but then true colours shown. The nicest thing that a guy has ever done for me would be my dad, my brother,